これからドローンが新しい時代を切り開いていくというですね、期待を込めまして、我々がACL さんと開発しました専用機に天空という名前を付けさせていただきました。今本当に熊本地震が起こっておりましたが、災害時の救援物資の運搬、また山岳地や過疎地への配送等ですね、本当に無限の可能性があるのかなというふうに思っております。
はい、ああ、ちゃんと届いてますね。はい。
Good afternoon, everybody. It is just afternoon. It's just turned noon. Welcome along today to our press conference. My name is David McNeil. I'm a journalist with The Economist newspaper. Today we're going to talk about drones. As with so many things developed by the military, drones or unmanned aerial vehicles have leaked into commercial life and are finding new applications from aerial surveys to agriculture. Among the most revolutionary possibility of drones is one with special resonance in Japan, delivering goods. The country is currently struggling with a labor crunch. The nation's working population has shrunk by about 10 million since the mid-1990s. Delivery companies have been hit harder than most. I'm sure many of you will have seen that Yamato, which runs the biggest door-to-door delivery service in Japan, has slashed parcel volumes and raised basic charges for the first time in 27 years this year. Other companies are sure to follow suit. In Japan, some companies are pushing very hard to make what once seemed like science fiction reality. Our guest today, Takashi Toraishi, is head of innovation at Rakuten, which of course is Japan's largest e-commerce firm. In March, the company announced the joint venture with AirMap, the world's top provider of air traffic management software for drones. The goal, the two companies say, is to provide a platform for airspace services and let innovation take flight. Rakuten has demonstrated a series of drones delivering hot soup to surfers, which is not as easy as it sounds, or maybe it doesn't sound easy, and golf balls to players out on the green. Toraishi-san will talk about why this may be just a start for drone technology. Our other guest is an old friend of the club. He's been here many times. Katsunobu Sakurai is the mayor, of course, of Minami City in Fukushima. He's now in his second term. Rakuten has signed a deal with the city, allowing them to work together to develop drones to see if they will take off as a business. Sakurai-san will explain how this might work on the ground. They're two very clever, capable men. Toraishi-san has a degree in nuclear fuel engineering. You'll notice that Mayor Sakurai has a no nuke badge on, so I'm wondering if they're going to break out in fisticuffs at some point. Let's hope they don't. We're going to hear from Mayor Sakurai first, and then we'll hear from Toraishi-san. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Can I remind you, by the way, just to switch off your mobile phones? Thank you.
Hi. 皆さんこんにちは。
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
南相馬市長の桜井勝信でございます。
My name is Katsunobu Sakurai, the mayor of Minamisoma City.
この海外特派員協会で4回目になるかと思います。
This is my fourth time at FCCJ, I think.
震災から6年3ヶ月が経過をいたしました。
So 6 years and 3 months have passed since the Great East Japan earthquake.
震災で636人が亡くなり、原発事故の避難で501人が避難が原因で亡くなったと認定されています。
And we have accredited the population as to 636 people being dead because of this disaster, and also 501 people also losing their lives because of the evacuation that they had to make.
原発事故は南相馬市民全員の運命を変えてしまいました。
This nuclear plant accident has changed the destiny for every citizen in Minamisoma City.
一時7万1500人いた市民が1万人以下まで追い込まれました。
At one point, the number of citizens have gone down so low from the original registered number of 71,500 down to less than 10,000.
今現在5万7000人まで居住人口を回復しています。
The number has recovered to 57,000 today.
昨年7月12日に避難指示区域が帰還困難区域を除いて解除されました。
Now, the evacuation order has been lifted last year in July 12th, except for some areas which were found still difficult for people to live.
放射性物質に侵された地域を再生するために全力で走り続けてきました。
And ever since the disaster, I have been running at my fullest pace as much as I can to help the city recover from the radiation contamination.
市民から怒りをぶつけられる毎日が続いたその自分がなぜ前に向いているかということをお話をしたいと思います。
I still feel very positive, though, through all the struggle that I've gone through, also being facing the citizens who had nowhere but me to express their anger to. I still feel very positive, and I'd like to explain why.
日本の中で侍文化を唯一引き継いでいる地域といっても過言でない相馬のマオイを1014年にわたって引き継いでおります。
In Minamisoma City, actually, we have the Soma no Maui festival, which has lasted for about 1,000 years now, representing maybe the only place in Japan that still has the true culture of samurai.
原発事故のあった2011年にも相馬のマオイは開催をいたしました。
We had this festival in 2011, even though this was the year we had the Great East Japan earthquake.
たった40年くらいの原発稼働で1000年の歴史を無駄にされたくないという思いからでした。
And this is an expression of our feeling that we don't want to have our 1,000-year tradition wasted because of a nuclear power plant that has been running for merely 40 years.
海外の皆さんに YouTube を使って3月24日に発信をいたしました。
On March 24th, I took the opportunity to speak to everybody outside of Japan as well through YouTube.
日本のマスコミは私のところから去って誰も入ってきませんでしたけれども、世界中のマスコミが3月末から私のところに来るようになりました。
And ever since, I have had various members of the press being interested in what I said and came to see me starting from the end of March at that time, although in those people who were interested in the city, there weren't really any Japanese press members.
世界中のマスコミの質問はなぜ私がそんなに前向きなんだということでした。
And the questions from the members who were interested in the foreign press was, why are you so positive? How can you be so forward-looking?
それは簡単だと、後ろのポスターを見ろと、相馬のマオイそのものがジャパニーズサムライスピリットの塊なんだということを申し上げます。
And I said, the answer is simple. Just look at the poster right behind me. This is the picture of the Soma no Maui festival, which is truly expressing the Japanese samurai spirit.
おかげさまで世界中の皆さんから、国内のすべての皆さんから支援をいただきました。
And therefore, thanks to all of these developments, we were able to get the support from all over the world, and of course, Japan as well.
東電と日本政府には責任の追及をし続ける一方で、
And so I will continue to ask for TEPCO and the Japanese government to fulfill their responsibilities.
私がこの地域を再生することに対しては決して諦めないということを言ってきました。
And I will continue to mention that I will never give up when it comes to the reconstruction of this region that I govern.
今でも世界中の皆さんから、また日本各地の皆さんから支援をいただいております。
And we continue to get the support from all over the world and from the Japanese citizens as well.
とりわけ子どもたちを支援する取り組みは世界中から日本中から今でもなされております。
Especially the support for the children is something that I would like to emphasize. And this also we're getting support from all over the world.
産業再生にとって人の 数、人の力は何よりも重要です。
And we also need to revitalize our industries. And in order to do that, the power of people is inevitable.
日本中に避難してしまった子どもたち全体の7割以上が一時期避難をいたしました。
The number of children that left Minamisoma to evacuate to some other place in Japan counts up to 70% of our citizens at the largest.
子どもたちが避難したということは若い親たちが同時に避難したということです。
These little children left Minamisoma, so obviously that means their parents left the city as well.
一時期1万5,000人の生産年齢人口が失われました。
At one point, the productive labor population has been lost at an amount of 15,000 people left.
日本中で生産年齢人口の確保が厳しい状況ですけれども、
And when we look at the whole country, the country also suffers from getting enough productive working labor.
とりわけ原発事故を経験した南相馬市にとってはそれは最もひどい状況になってきたと言っても過言ではありません。
But when it comes to this problem, I believe that Minamisoma city is one of the cities that saw the worst case of this problem.
労働力確保のために子どもたち0歳児から保育園料無料化とかさまざまな教育支援をしています。
So we provide various educational support as well to secure the labor, going all the way back to 0 years old, making sure that the nursery schools are free, etc.
おかげさまで今は 75% まで子どもたちが回復しています。
So because of that, we're very grateful that 75% of the children are back.
そのような中で産業再生を目指す中で、
So we continue to aim for industrial revitalization against this backdrop.
今の政権の現地対策本部長であった赤羽和義さんが、
はい、続けてください。
イノベーションコスト構想ということを発表いたしました。
So from this current administration, we had Mr. Akaba, the former METI Vice Minister, Mr. Akaba, who has been working with us to launch the Innovation Coast Scheme.
これはアメリカのハンフォードに象徴されるように原子力事故によって被災した町の再生の構想です。
This is a scheme based on the revitalization of a city that has struggled from nuclear plant disaster, looking at the case of the U.S. Hanford.
福島第一原発の廃炉を目指す上でも人の確保は何より必要です。
We also need people. We need to secure labor to go on with the decommissioning of the Fukushima first nuclear power plant.
ロボットを含めたあらゆる手段を駆使して廃炉を目指していかなければなりません。
You know, we need to pursue this decommissioning using any measures that we can use, including robots.
その中で南相馬市にはロボットテストフィールドということを設置することを決定いただきました。
And against this backdrop, there has been made a decision to set the Robot Innovation Center in Minamisoma City.
南相馬市であらゆるロボットの実証実験をするフィールドです。
This field will be used to do various demonstration experiments for any kind of robots.
イノベーションコスト構想のチームには私も当初から参加させていただきました。
So I've been participating in this Fukushima Innovation Coast scheme from the onset of the scheme.
原発事故の責任追及だけではなくて、
And I'm working on not only pursuing the authorities to fulfill the responsibilities for the accident.
若者たちを戻して新しい産業を創出しなきゃいけないという思いからでした。
But not only that, we need to get those young people back into the city and revitalize our industry and get that industry back on track.
そのことは国、経産省にも福島県にもしっかり理解していただいたと思っております。
I believe that the above message has been understood by the Fukushima Prefecture as well as METI.
結果として昨年4月にテストフィールド設置を決定いただきました。
And as a result of that, I believe the robot testing field has been started last year in April.
2020年にはワールドロボットサミットの一部が南相馬市で開催されます。
Now in 2020, we're looking forward to the World Robot Summit, which will partially be held in Minamisoma City.
今、産業技術高等学校の生徒たちに
And currently, we have our students from the Industrial and Technological High School
君たちがこの技術の集団に先頭になるんだということを申し上げています。
to participate in this initiative, and I personally telling them that you are going to lead this technological innovation.
避難指示にあった小高区において、小高産業技術高校が今年の4月に開校いたしました。
And there also is another school, Odaka Technological School, which has opened again from April in Odaka District, which is the one that has suffered from the evacuation orders at the time.
この小高には安倍総理も来ていただいて、子どもたちからロボットの操作を学んでいます。
And this is, Odaka District is exactly the place where Prime Minister Abe has visited and also had the Minamisoma kids teach him how to operate a robot.
ドローンの操作も習いました。
And the drone as well.
それに先立って楽天さんと世界で初めての長距離配達飛行をドローンを使って行いました。
And before that, actually, we have been working with Rakuten here, working on that long distance autonomous flight using drones.
これは南相馬市の挑戦であると同時に楽天さんが進めている開発とも同じくする歩みだと思っております。
This pursuit regarding the drone is something that Minamisoma holds dearly and is working on very earnestly, but also we share this passion together with Rakuten, I believe.
楽天さんの意欲を我々は伺い知ることができました。
And working with them, we were able to feel how earnestly Rakuten is working on this.
南相馬市の若い人たちをまた日本中の若い人たちを南相馬市に引きつけることが重要です。
It's very important to have the young children be attracted to Minamisoma City and be there with us.
そのためには楽天さんと協力をして新たなビジネスを作っていくということも重要だと思っています。
And in order for that to happen, we think one of the things that we should be doing is working with companies like Rakuten and coming up with new ideas in cooperation.
楽天さんの挑戦意欲と南相馬市の再生に対する思いが一致しました。
I think this is a match between Rakuten's devotion to making challenges and also Minamisoma City's devotion to reconstruction.
結果としてトライシ社長と私が協力協定に調印をいたしました。
And that's why we concluded, we meaning Toraishi, CEO, and myself as the mayor, have concluded a comprehensive partnership agreement.
南相馬市はまだまだ医療の分野でも介護の分野でも人が足りません。
Now, Minamisoma City is in lack of labor in the field of medicine and nursing care as well.
介護の弱者がいっぱいおります。
And there are many people that need the nursing service.
そこにドローンを使って配達するとか、新しい手段の診療とかを入れたいと思っています。
And this is where we'd like to use the power of drones, maybe delivering some goods to these people or starting a new way of checking these people's health.
新しい手段を使って、iPhone だとか iPad だとかいうものを使って遠隔診療も始めています。
For example, we can see these patients remotely using devices like iPhone and iPad as well.
診察の次は投薬です。
And after you see a patient, what happens next usually is you prescribe drugs.
薬事法によって今投薬は直接患者が薬局に行かなければなりません。
According to the Japanese FDA, we are obliged by law that the patient has to go to the pharmacist directly, face to face, to receive your medicine.
遠隔診療して投薬ができないというのはおかしいということを政府に申し上げてきました。
Right. So my next thing was to tell the government that it is not really logical that the drones can, some technology can help to remotely see patients, but then the drug dispensing after that has to be done face to face.
楽天さんの協力を得ながらこういうことをクリアしていきたいなというふうに考えてございます。
This is just an example of a hurdle that I would like to overcome working together with Rakuten.
震災で圧倒的に生産手段、普通のインフラが失われました。
With the Great East Japan earthquake, we lost a a material amount of measures to build our industry.
それを回復克服するために楽天さんとの協力が何よりも重要だと思っています。
In order to get that means to production back, we know that working together with Rakuten is very important.
我々の再生に対する挑戦は楽天さんとの協力なくしてはありえないと思っています。
Our challenge towards reconstruction of the city cannot happen without Rakuten.
今後ますます楽天さんの協力を得ながら我々は再生に向かって挑戦していきます。
So I will continue to commit to working on the reconstruction of our city together with Rakuten.
トライシさんに譲りますけれども、南相馬市の再生にとってパートナーだというふうに思っておりますので、今後とも協力についてご支援をお願いしたいと思っています。
I would like to hand over the microphone now to Dr. Toraishi, asking him for further cooperation and support for the revitalization of our city.
よろしくお願いします。
Thank you, Toraishi-san.
So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor Sakurai. It's a really encouraging comment, and we are really feeling right. We need to do something real for Minamisoma, not only for the business, but rather empower their society for future. So let me briefly talk about Rakuten, our service, Rakuten Drone. So I think all of you may know Rakuten is a company started from 20 years back, starting from e-commerce and expanding the business to fintech like bank, credit card, also doing the expansion of global growth. So as a result, in the current stage, we have a global GMS, gross merchant sales of more than 10 trillion JPY with 1+ billion global members. So we are the company having largest membership, right, by supported by any society in Japan, but also other geographical regions. So what's a Rakuten? It's not a company of e-commerce. It's not a company of fintech. Actually, we are the company to empower the society, like Minamisoma, like Japan, right? So any type of local society who is really requiring further drivers to empower themselves, we will do the best support as a company by leveraging any new innovation. Right, so we are heavily working on like AI, data science, drone, also the strategic partnership with other external parties, of course, like Minamisoma, like FC Barcelona. So any innovative measures, actually, we are really putting there to empower the society. That's one word talking about the Rakuten. So question is that why we are doing drone at Rakuten. So if I'm having questions from the press, for example, probably 99% of question is talking about Amazon. Hey, Amazon is starting drone. Hey Rakuten, are you doing a drone as well? That's a kind of typical question. And answer is yes and no. Of course, Amazon is our great competitor to make our industry much more attractive, make service more attractive to customer. But we are much more envisioning about the future potential of drone. So simply say, you can imagine, it's a kind of evolution, like we have internet 25 years back. So our vision of drone, or kind of society empowered by drone, is like the following. So currently, for example, logistics, actually all operated by human, like truck drivers, of course, operated by human. In warehouse, of course, operation is driven by human. While if we have autonomous systems, including autonomous driving trucks, autonomous operated warehouse, and drone operated by autonomous control system, fundamentally, we can eliminate all operation cost, except a small portion of electricity. That's an evolution which we have seen in the internet 25 years back when our CEO, Mickey, started our business. So fundamentally, our core belief is that the technology which can really change the structure of the industry will surely come in there. So question is not if drone is picking up or not, but rather when, right? It's coming in 3 years, 5 years, probably less than 10 years. But we need to be prepared to capture that innovation, that change of the society, right? As a leader of innovation in Japan. So that's a concept. So what we are doing now as Rakuten is not just developing a system for the logistics. Of course, logistics is the most important driver as a service. But rather, we are really seeking for the opportunity how to make drones reachable anywhere. It's a philosophy of our company, empowering the society. So drones should be reachable anywhere, not only in dense city area, but also rural for the best support for the society. And of course, we are really making a challenge. Of course, drone is a technology which no one has seen it yet. So we need to innovate drone as a new model. It's not a replacement of a human. It's not a replacement of cars, not a replacement of other robots. It's a really new model, like flying on the sea. It's a kind of the area which no one has tried yet, but we are doing that. And also safety as well, right? You can imagine, drone is flying around, right, on our sky in Tokyo. Yes, it's a bit scary, right? Even for myself, it's scary. But of course, we need to do what we have to do as Rakuten. So of course, we are really jumping on technology to ensure drone safety for everyone. Those are the kind of 3 core pillars of the concept of our services. And as an application, of course, delivery is really key. Yeah, of course, for our business, like e-commerce, but much more to provide empowerment to the society, like Minamisoma. So we are the first player to commercialize the drone services, to tap on untapped airspace, right? Not the commercial plane, not on the surface traffic. Right? We are really creating a new market on the area of 150 meters. So far, we have heavily invested our activity, right, together with our partners. Like hardware, we are working on a really specialized drone system with ACSL. It's one of the ventures which we have invested already, and working on a really specialized drone machine and systems for the logistics, right? With having autonomous control system and also loading, unloading systems. And of course, that system is fully integrated with our best-in-class software. It's really user-friendly, operator-friendly. It's not software has been developed by hardware company. We are the company having the largest number of customers, end users. So end user-friendly software is embedded there as a combination of hardware. That's a kind of our services, Rakuten Drone. Already launched in commercial, in golf course. Probably many of you have seen that in TV, newspaper, whatever. Having great support from Camel Resort in Chiba, golf course. Do the commercial operation of drone delivery for drinks, for golf gears, including balls or whatever, right? By using application, Android app. And also working heavily with local society. So as Mayor Sakurai mentioned, there are huge needs to deliver something for the people who is waiting for the product, like drugs, right, like medication. So we really do work with them to support our society, as well as developing a new concept of services. Also working heavily on communication giants like Docomo, for example. So in the end, drone is operated by autonomous with sufficient control of the system by someone, right? Having a secured network with a secured system. So started working with Docomo by leveraging their LTE network launched in Chiba, but operation has been done in Setagaya. It's a kind of remote operated drone system as a kind of a new concept. And also, therefore, we are not talking about not just talking about the logistics, much more talking about a drone as a system. So we just decided to work with AirMap, one of the top-notch drone UTM provider in US, and started a joint venture in Japan to provide the best safe drone operation for everyone. And Minamisoma is our most important best partner to work with, to empower their society, but also obtaining huge knowledge and experience for designing a new concept of delivery. So we, as Mayor Sakurai mentioned, we started the collaboration in Minamisoma to do the long distance delivery for the people who is waiting, having issue on the access, on the purchase. So probably we are starting delivery with medicines and expanding the service going forward. So that's activity we now running as a Rakuten and drone. And the final words, right? Why I'm talking Minamisoma as the best partner? It's not only because of the test bed at the place, but we are much more resonated about the ambition, vision of Mayor Sakurai, right? Having samurai spirit to change the world, to push forward the society on a positive way going forward. And personally, as David mentioned, I was working in the nuclear industry before, right? Of course, it was before Fukushima earthquake. But personally feeling, I need to do something for Minamisoma. So as a Rakuten, but also as a myself individual, I have full commitment to deliver something new from Minamisoma to the world by using a drone. So that's it from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Well, we will now be looking for the samurai spirit of journalists to ask good, probing, tough questions. We start off, as always, with the working press on this table here. We'll go to non-working press. You remember the working press? I'm sorry, okay. Could I remind you, please, if you come to the mic, to state your name and your position. Thank you. Name of your publication.
My name is Richard Susilo. I'm from Indonesia, Indonesian journalist. I stay here for almost 30 years. 2 years ago, I went to Minamisoma. Minamisoma is very beautiful. I like it very much. But I'm so sad with the TEPCO, how come this very beautiful place becomes like this? And I came there as a volunteer for several days, helping your people, Minamisoma, in every houses. And but one concern is about the radiations. On that time, 2 years ago, on August, it's around 4 microsievert, and usually the people around Ray 10, Ray 0.01 microsievert, but on that time, still 4 microsievert, quite high. I don't know why. I don't know what is the radiation until now. So I would like to hear from Mayor about this radiation, because I like this city very much. I would like to come. For the Rakuten, one question, very simple. How much did you pay attention on the insurance because anytime the drone will goes down and then hit the people. So please tell us about the insurance of this, the third-party liability insurance. Thank you.
Thank you.
まず放射線の話をすると、全く理解されていないということに残念です。
When it comes to the topic of radiation, I always feel very disappointed that there is no understanding.
東京は 0.03 ないし4ぐらいだと思いますけど、
I think the level in Tokyo is 0.03 to 04.
南相馬は高いところでも 0.2 台に下がっています。
The level of radiation in Minamisoma city has gone down to the level of 0.2 at maximum.
低いところは 0.04 くらいになっています。
The low areas, the radiation is as low as 0.04.
これは東京とほぼ同じレベルまで下がっているということが皆さんには分かっていないのが残念です。
Which means that the radiation level has gone down to the level that is very similar to that of Tokyo. And I just feel that it's unfortunate that people don't understand this.
4マイクロシーベルトというのは震災後、半年ないし3ヶ月後くらいの線量だったと思います。
The 4 microsievert that you mentioned, I believe, is the level we had 3 months or 6 months after the disaster struck.
今年の3月までにほぼ除染は終了しました。
The decontamination has basically been concluded as of March this year.
したがって平均の放射線量は 0.2 を下回っているということをお知らせをしておきたいと
So
思い
I'd
ます。
just like to notify to you and update you that the average radiation level is at 0.2 today.
Okay, thank you. Toraishi-san?
So about insurance. So actually, we have already working with some of the partners for the insurance, mainly for the system, right? It's a kind of initial. But as you said, yes, I mean we need to have advanced insurance system, particularly for the kind of people, right? If we have any trouble, and two things. One is we have already working on to create a new insurance on that. And secondly, of course, as Rakuten, we have an insurance company, right, as one service of fintech. So we may make some innovation. Still working now. Cannot talk about any details on that, but stay tuned. That's my comment. Thank you very much.
All right. Have there been any cases of drones falling out of the sky and hitting people on the head?
No.
No. Any other questions from the working press? Gentleman over there. Martin?
Thank you. パワーペイブルームバーグニュース。ブルームバーグのパビルと申します。楽天さんに2点お願い聞きたいんですけど、今まで
Sorry, you speak English, right?
I'll do both.
Okay.
今までの事例は割とこう建造物の密度の低い地域に、いろいろありますけど、今からもし都内に投入するとしたらどういった地上のインフラが必要になるのか、あともう一点おそらく軽量なものに限られるからどういった商品に特化するのでしょうか。So two questions. One is examples until now have been in mostly sparsely populated areas. So if Rakuten were to introduce this service in urban areas, what sort of terrestrial infrastructure is necessary, and also what kind of products can be carried, because they probably have to be light.
Yeah. So that's a great point, right? So therefore, we are working with several partners like Minamisoma. It's much more rural, not a dense area. While Chiba Prefecture is one place which much more we are seeking for the kind of potential to work with the dense area, right, in city area. So my hypothesis is that in the dense area like Tokyo, we need to have a combination of other models, right? So it's really hard to imagine from point A to point B just having a drone, simply because number one, security. Right, because no one is willing to have your drone in front of your balcony or whatever. It's simply scary, and also the issue on the security there. So most likely, the operation will be combined with autonomous warehouse and also some modality from the warehouse to the final delivery point. Probably, close to the station, whatever. And having a drone as a semi-last mile by combined with other robots. Right? For example, in front of entrance of the building, and from entrance to the final delivery point, probably other robots will work on. That's a kind of most likely scenario, which we are seeing that. Of course, there are other concepts there. Probably Amazon is thinking differently, but that's our one of the vision. Therefore, as I was talking like that, drone is a one system for the autonomous controlled system from end to end. Therefore, we are working on other operators, like logistic company, for example, how we can integrate the drone system to the warehouse, for example. Or working with other robot manufacturers, how we can autonomously connect the delivery from drone to other robots. That's a kind of a view.
So you're, I was a bit lost, but you're talking about a drone or drones covering trunk routes, main routes, and then other technologies taking over to deliver to your door, right?
Yeah. So that could be the most efficient way, and to overcome the regulatory and security, safety concerns. While rural areas, story is really different, right? Probably we may need to have kind of much stronger drone, whatever, right? Having long distance deliver from A to B directly, right? With autonomous.
Is that okay? Thank you. Anybody else from the working press? Martin, you had your hand up.
Martin Kölling with the German Financial Daily Handelsblatt. You mentioned the bigger drones already. I wanted to ask you, is this size really sufficient for most of the deliveries? The deliveries usually when you get a parcel from Amazon or Rakuten, the parcels are like this, and then sometimes they are heavy, sometimes you order a pack of water, a box of water, and what size of drones do you have to envision? What kind of innovation is necessary for a real commercially viable drone service? This is my first question. And my second question is about Japan and the rest of the world in terms of drone business. Japan was, it seems, one of the first countries that really started to have a regulation of the drone business. And usually you think regulation basically binds companies, but in the Japanese example, in the Japanese case, it seems to set the businesses free. So how does the regulation impact the development of drone business? How important is the fact that Japan has a regulation already for the development of drone business? And how do you see the Japanese drone business compared to the rest of the world?
Okay, so the first question for the size of drone. Yes, of course, strategically, we need to have a different type of drone, for sure, right? Not only that size, probably larger scale of the drone should be necessary for the long distance delivery, right? So everyone is thinking of, and we are thinking of. But in the same time, if that drone is picking up, it's operated by autonomous, as I said, and also cost of energy is really nothing. Probably the packing of a parcel would also be changing, right? For example, you can imagine ordering the 10 bottles of water in AC. Current operation is packing everything in one box because of the cost efficiency in the current operation, right? Like the truck delivery, and then finally, drivers are bringing that to your home, right? One package will be most cost efficient. While if that drone is picking up, you can just bring in that 10 times, right? Because cost is really nothing. Then packing style will be optimized to that drone operation. So innovation is happening in two arenas. as you said, size of drone is one, but also packing and the total operation of supply chain will be in evolution, in innovation, right? Based on kind of capacity and capability of drone. That's my fundamental view. Still underway. I mean, no answer there, but both should be considered. This is the answer to the question number one. And number two, for the regulation, yes. Always innovation is a challenge against the regulation, right? And of course, Japan is the regulated company. Conceptually, yes, compared to other countries. Still, twofold. One is Japan regulatory side is pretty much supportive for us, right? Because they know any type of past industries, like mobile phone, mobile network, internet, yes, all behind to the other countries. Drone, autonomous systems, overall. We need to ahead to other countries. So regulatory side is really listening us, right? What to be required. So thing is that we as Rakuten, as a company, we need to be innovative for the concept. If that concept happens, we can work, talk to regulatory side, and they are really working with us. How we can meet that concept from regulatory side. So that's one thing. Of course, we are heavily working with other countries as well, right? Like working with AirMap, for example. We are really knowing about the industry picking up in US, for example. The Chinese manufacturers, for example, of course, China is a country. You can try, whatever. So, as a conclusion, Japan is supportive. I'm really having an optimistic view on the Japan regulatory. In the same time, we are the global company, Rakuten, so leveraging any geographical location to drive the activity. So that's answer from my side.
So you're saying that the fact that Japan has fallen behind in other technologies is one reason why they push so hard to regulate this industry very quickly?
Yeah.
Right. Tim.
Tim Horniak, freelance. Could you just give us a few more details, if possible, about the experiment in Minamisoma? For example, when will this start, or has it started already? What kinds of medicine or other goods will be delivered? What is the range of the delivery area? How many people will be potentially benefiting from this service? And also, what about the social or psychological aspect of this operation? I'm sure the mayor will tell us that many of the local inhabitants are elderly. How would these people feel about receiving medicine or perhaps a checkup through iPhone or other mobile devices via drones, if I understand correctly? If we have, for example, an elderly couple who live in a rural location, perhaps a farm, and they have a drone flying over to come and visit them and bring the face of a caretaker or a social worker via mobile device as well as medicine. How is that going to work practically, and how do you think local people feel about this experiment? Thank you.
Do you want to take that? That's Sakurai-san, is it? Both? Both. Sakurai-san, do you want to go?
はい、最初のどれぐらいの実証をされているのかということについて言えば、13キロほどの長距離飛行をやって、これは距離的には世界初だったと思います。
So in terms of the demonstration experiment, we have achieved the distance of 13 kilometers flight, which is the world's first longest distance flight.
個別配達を具体的に行われているかというと、まだ実証実験段階で実際には行われていません。
This has not gone into commercial stage yet. It is not delivering packages to a certain destination yet.
同時に航空管制の実証実験も行われています。
And also at the same time, we're working on aerial traffic control experiments as well.
配達はドローンでということを考えていますけど、診療は iPad のようなものを使っての診療ですので、まあ、フェイストフェイスの関係が保たれていると思っています。
And so for the delivery of packages, I mentioned drone, but for the checkups of patients, I mentioned technologies using iPad or iPhone, which means it is a little bit closer to the traditional face-to-face situation.
すべてその iPad、コンピューター同士での診療ではなくて、一度は必ず見た人に対して iPad での再診をしているわけですので、最初から最後まで遠隔診療だけということではありません。
And it doesn't start with remote checkups. It starts with an actual doctor, face-to-face checkup as we would traditionally, and then following up so that you don't have to come back again, but instead input some data into the iPad.
待ち時間なく診療できるという点では非常に年配の方には喜ばれています。
So leading to your second question, some of the elderly people accept this as something very helpful, and they enjoy they enjoy not having to wait a long time before they can see the doctor.
はい、以上ですかね。
I'll stop here.
Okay. Toraishi-san, did you have any comment to add?
I mean, that's it, right? It was what he mentioned here, but we need to push forward, right, to do that as early as possible.
All right. I wasn't aware that you had the longest experimental flight in the world, 13 kilometers. When was that? Maybe everybody else in the room knows that, but I didn't.
1月の12日だと思います。
今年ですね。
はい。
It was this year, January 12th, I believe.
The gentleman over there.
Sunil Chako, Sunday Garden, India. Thank you for great presentations. I wanted to salute the mayor. I remember the enormous waves higher than trees, the photographs of that, so we salute your recovery. My question is on natural disasters and the use of drones. Traditionally, people have used aircraft to undertake surveillance, to decide the extent of the damage and how much relief is required. But that is one application potentially that can be replaced by drones. And indeed, that leads me also to the question on the categorization of drones, because the drones that have been used for military surveillance are, of course, much longer range. So in a nutshell, the question is on the strengths and weaknesses of the aircraft approach as compared to the drone approach, and what are the limitations? You've spoken a lot about the benefits, but perhaps you could touch on some of the limitations as well. Thank you.
最初よろしいですか。幸いって言ったらいいのか、先日山火事が起きたんです。
Actually, we had a big forest fire the other day in our city.
雷によるものでした。
It started from a lightning that struck the forest.
火が起こっている地点が特定できなくて、
We couldn't find the central spot where the fire started.
消防はドローンを飛ばしました。
And so the firefighters flew a drone.
当然カメラをついたドローンです。
Of course, with a camera, so it's a surveillance
す
drone.
でにその地点を特定しました。
And we were able to spot the fire starting point.
映像を送ってきました。
And the drone sent us the images.
消防団はそのドローンをめがけて地点まで行きました。
And the firefighters went to the central spot, just aiming for the place where the drone was hovering.
結果的に大きな木が1本燃えただけでした。
And as a result, the fire ended in burning down one big tree, but that's it.
煙だけでは特定できなかったものをドローン飛ばすことによって特定できました。
With all the smoke in the sky, we would not have been able to pinpoint the starting point, but the drone did it.
延焼も防ぐことができました。
And we were able to stop the fire from expanding.
これはまさに、軍事用ということではなくて、災害対応としては非常にいい手段だと確信しました。
And with this event, I really became confident about the fact that drones used for disaster is a good way to utilize the technology. It doesn't have to be military drones.
ドローンの使い方次第によって人間に有用になるか、軍事用に用いられるかは別として、南相馬のような人が足りない地域で、山が多い地域においては、絶対必要だと思っています。
It's really up to us human beings to come up with ideas to utilize the drone in good, helpful ways. Military use or not, putting that aside, using drones is something that especially Minamisoma, with a lack of people and so many mountains, would definitely like to do.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
Thank you. Toraishi-san? Okay. Next question. Anybody who hasn't asked a question who wants to ask one? Martin.
Martin Kölling again. I'm interested in the technological challenges for the further development of drones. Is the technology for autonomous flight already there? Or what are the challenges, the future challenges for further development? So where do we need the most progress to really enable a commercial service in autonomous flight?
So the answer is fundamentally the autonomous control system is already deployed there. So it's operated by autonomous. And the challenge going forward is number one, battery energy. Right. So the system which we are aiming for is a fully automated autonomous delivery system, loading, unloading, loading, unloading. So battery charging is the key. Right. So how we can make it? Of course, we are working on several partners, including ACSL and others. Right. But if probably we may need to extend the duration of the battery 10 times. 10 times. Which means that if we can come to 10 times larger, battery, probably we can do much more different things. And another thing is that, of course, it's autonomous. So we are working on the UTM, right, to control unmanned traffic management system, right, with air map system. Of course, the drone itself can be autonomous, but that drone need to avoid any crashes or any other troubles. And the question is either it's coming from a centrally controlled system, like UTM operation. Of course, we are working on that, or much more coming to machine-to-machine communication, like autonomous driving car. So we are seeking for the both operation, probably both coming, will be combined as a hybrid. But that kind of the concept of crash trouble avoidance is a really key to develop overall system concept. That's another challenge. But if we can solve both, drones business is picking up very soon.
What's the current life of the battery, average battery?
Yeah, I think, of course, depending on the, operation, but we can easily operate more than 10 kilometers, as Sakurai-san mentioned. 10 kilometers to 20 kilometers is fine for logistics, but key is that back and forth without charging, right? Because if charging takes 20 minutes, you need to deploy another drone. That may affect your capex plan as a business. So OPEX is really small. How we can minimize the capex is a really key to provide a cost-efficient autonomous operation. Could be possible. Could be one idea.
Mayor Sakurai's point about using drones for natural disasters is a very important one, isn't it? Because, you know, in a country like Japan, so many natural disasters, so mountainous, so many places inaccessible, people getting lost in the mountains, hiking, volcanoes and so on. Have you done any other experiments of this kind? Or do you see experiments like this happening in Japan? Toraishi-san? Have you seen, have you done experiments like this using drones for natural disasters, some aspect of natural disasters? Or do you see a point where they could be used more?
So, I mean, our hypothesis, right? So, of course, we are not working on like surveillance or other application so far, but those applications could be integrated into our UTM services, of course. And technology-wise, of course, we are not planning to provide that service as a Rakuten service, but much more interested in AI, image recognition, map technologies, which we really need to push forward as an entire company, and that to be provided to the special service provider for surveillance, for example. That's a kind of our view. But AI, image recognition, machine learning, routing technology will be the core for surveillance, for example.
Sakurai-san, did you have anything to add? 何か加えること？
先日の火事の話もしましたけれども、一昨年山火事が起きて37ヘクタール焼けたんです。
So I talked about that smaller scale fire the other day, but actually there was one 2 years ago that burned 37 hectares.
足元が悪くてなかなか消防団が入れませんでした。
And you know the ground was not in a very good condition for the firefighters to walk into.
初期に範囲が特定できていれば、
So if we were able to discover the area of the fire at the early stage,
延焼は何分の1にも防げたと思います。
the fire would have been many-fold smaller.
災害は火事だけではありませんし、洪水も時々起きます。
So in terms of disasters, it's not just fire. We have floods sometimes.
人が行けないところにドローンで調査をするということは非常に重要だと思っています。
And ultimately, it's very important to focus on the fact that drones can go access places where people cannot go.
南相馬だけではなくて日本中で必ず災害が起きます。
And as was mentioned, we will always have disasters in Japan. This is not just about Minamisoma.
いち早く検知できるということが何よりも重要だと思っています。
And to detect the problematic spot as soon as possible is the most important thing.
効率的にまた人的な力量を最小限にしながらも防災体制を強化できると思っています。
So I think drones can help strengthen our disaster prevention capabilities in a very efficient way, meaning using less manpower.
もっともっと災害対応にもこういうドローンを含めたロボットの採用が期待されていると思っています。
So I believe that there is much expectations to adoption of drones and other robots for disaster prevention use.
南相馬市のロボットテストフィールドはまさにそのために作られる予定だと思っています。
This is the kind of development that we are going to cater in the robot testing field in Minamisoma City.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
The gentleman at the back.
Hello, my name is Oliver Matthew from CLSA. I have two questions. One, could you talk a bit about 5G and when that does come in, how will that change your drone program? Does it make any big difference? That's a one question. And secondly, are there any Rakuten merchants in Minamisoma, and have you been working with them? And what do they think about this drone opportunity? Will we soon see them delivering directly from their shop to your residence? And from a regulation point of view, is there actually anything that prevents that currently? I'm not familiar with drone regulations, so could you tell us from a commercial point of view what the current situation actually is?
Yeah. So let me start. Right. For 5G, so a couple of things which we may think of, right, as a future. So LTE is fine so far in the current operation, but given the analogy of other autonomous technology like vehicle, for example, some of the automotive OEMs are developing a virtual reality-oriented control system, right, by connecting car information to the cloud and sending back the information of virtual reality to the car to provide the provision of 5 seconds forward to avoid any crashes or whatever. So if we have a 5G technology in the communication, we can deploy those of communication from drone to cloud, sending back information cloud to drone. May contribute evolutional kind of growth or opportunity on the safety side. That is the one expectation. That may evolve the idea of UTM concept, unmanned traffic management system, much more live systems having a brain by system itself. That's the kind of the one expectation for 5G. And for Rakuten Merchant, yes, we have. Right, and of course, we are thinking of how we can do that. Direct delivery. Right. So I think probably we can get insight from Sakurai-san as well. And the final question.
We can use it for the hometown tax deduction system, Furusato Noze.
Then on the regulation
side, so one of the big things which we are currently working with the regulator side is that in the current regulation, we can not operate a drone where the human can see that by eye. So you can imagine. So if we do the operation of 20 kilometers, for example, in the current regulation, we need to place humans to check the operation. But we are really working with the regulator side to have a special treatment on that regulation.
Sorry, I didn't quite understand. So the human has to be able to see the drone?
I think it's when the drone is out of sight.
Yeah.
It's not covered by the current regulations. I think that's how
and virtual reality doesn't count.
Regulatory side, regulation-wise,
okay,
we need it, but we are working on.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
So how does that work? So in the case of 15 kilometers, which is the maximum distance, you have to have people posted all along the way to make sure they don't lose the drone. Is that it?
Yeah, 船が追っかけてました。
15キロだと人が何人立たなきゃいけないんですかね。15キロ。
船。
Well, he wanted to talk about the example where the drone flew over the ocean and the ship had to chase the drone to keep it in line of sight.
Not an easy thing to do.
But it's still trial, right? Once we can confirm the security there, safety there, regulatory side can work on. Yeah, that's our expectation.
Interesting. Any more questions? And we'll throw it open to the non-working press. The lady over here, I see first. People from the non-working press, you're entitled to ask a question.
Hello, I'm Kumika Miyazaki from Tokyo Institute of Technology. I'm an associate member. So I have three questions for Rakuten. If a drone is flying sort of 15 kilometers, and because of climate change, now there might be several different weather conditions, like torrential rain in one district and maybe a sort of very strong gust of wind. So it should really depend on micro level weather conditions.
Yeah.
So is it is it happening now? Is it being controlled by micro level weather conditions? The second question is you said that the main competitor is birds, but birds can also affect commercial flights because of bird strike.
Yeah.
So I wonder, in case of bird, what is the risk due to bird strike? And thirdly, drone is a dual-use technology. So I'm concerned that what would happen if it sort of falls into the hands of terrorists? How can you ensure the safety of human beings?
Yeah. So the technology side, right? So weather condition, yes, that is affected heavily by local weather, right? Like rain, like thunder, whatever. And two things. One is how we can deploy the minimal detection and avoidance system to drone is one, right? Of course, some heavy rain could damage, a circuit or electric circuit or whatever. Of course, we are doing the waterproof or whatever on that. But still, the system may need to deploy some of the system to detect really local weather information. It's really important. In the same time, for the UTM, unmanned traffic management system, we would also deploy that by extract the information from local drone to the system. Hey, this area has a rain now, right? 5 minutes later will happen. Twofold. One is that is exactly the concept where Google Map is currently doing for the prediction of traffic jam, for example. Each individual users actually sending the information to Google, right? Where you are now, what's the speed of drive, whatever, and gather all information by Google and sending back to us as information. So the analogy-wise, once we can do the local detection and avoidance of local weather, that could be a great opportunity for the business as well. I don't know who is buying that information, but of course we are seeking for that opportunity as a business side as well. And birds, as your second question. Yes, that's a trouble. And of course, current UTM system cannot detect the bird who is flying into that area. So far, no idea, but technology will solve. And third question, terrorism. Yes, it's a big issue, right? How we can, because technology is really evolving, right? Long flight, distant flight, carry something, loading, unloading. Of course, fundamentally big risk on the terrorism. How we can manage the system, how we can detect any unregistered drone in the area, how we can detect that and avoid the entrance will be another area which we are really working on or thinking of, particularly in our company, right? Rakuten Airmap is the entity who is working on. But also we are, proposing concepts to any parties, including regulatory side, even our competitors, right, to create some good idea on that.
It's a sad fact that the most common incident involving a drone in Japan was about 2 or 3 years ago when a drone was landed on the top of the Kante, right?
Yeah. Right. If the Kante is joining our Rakuten Airmap solution, that could be avoided.
Hope you've told them that. I'll take another question from Martin, unless there's somebody else straining to ask one. No? Those are.
You mentioned the safety security issues. What about cybersecurity, hacking or capturing of drones? How are you preventing that from happening? And then my other question is again about technology or the look of drones. What different kinds of drones do you envision in the future? They don't all have to look like this. There are other drones like the Yamaha motor helicopter, but this is more like a K-car size, right? And then you have Sony and ZMP developing more a kind of aircraft-like drone, I think. So what kind of different forms of drones do you envision in the future? And what are your plans in the future? Are you prepared to buy new companies, startups or other companies, established companies like DJI, for example, they're a world market leader already, to get a global foothold in the drone business?
So, the first question about the security, cyber security. Of course, it's really, really important, right? So now, our drone, our system is connected to the mobile network, right? Data network, even cloud. So fundamentally, risk there, to be hacked by cyber terrorism. Of course, we will do. Whatever solution, whatever avoidance on the system side. But in the same time, right, it's a hardware, right? So it's fundamental risk is there. So how we can avoid it from hardware side as well, right? Fail safe. Once detecting hack, for example, automatically closing operation, whatever. This is another thing which we may need to think of. So the answer is working on. Of course, not 100% perfect in this stage, right? But need to identify the drone-specific risk on cyber attack. It's a really key, right, to think of. And the second question, which type of drone? So my simple answer is whichever type of drone we are seeking for the opportunity, right, to partnering with. The question is if we are doing 100% M&A to the big players like DJI. Probably answer is no, right? But still working with other companies. I use them, the Yamaha. Yeah, of course they are the big name, right? In helicopter operation, drone operation, would be great partner to work with. Right? Even other aircraft companies. Right, who is developing some of autonomous system could be potential. So all in option. No clear answer now. Yeah.
Is that all your questions answered, Martin? Todo.
My name is Kurt Sieber. I'm an associate member. And thank you so much for the very interesting presentation today. I'd just like to add that in March, we had the opportunity to visit the drone center of Komatsu in Inage Kaigan, and which gave us a very concise development schedule, but of course it was strictly connected only with survey, but also survey to make estimates for offering, for projects and so on. So that was very interesting. But you have a much higher or wider range of applications in mind. But my question is, be it with Rakuten or be it with Yamato, which has about 1.8 billion deliveries per year, I understand, or Sagawa Cubin, of course Amazon. Are there any statistics available about the size, or rather the weight, of the deliveries which are made now all over Japan? For instance, what is the percentage under 2 kilos, as an example, but 2 kilos to 10 kilos, and ultimately, what is the range you ultimately think about? Another, general comment or question also is, on the other side, we have the car manufacturers who are thinking in terms of developing, and actually Toyota has a project on that which goes into making flying cars. Yeah. And that, how does that involve or affect your operations? Thank you.
Yeah. So your first question. So any statistics of size of parcels? Actually, I don't have the data now. Right, but of course, company by company, the situation is really different, right? So Amazon, for example, they are, of course, because of their services, most likely their size of shipment weight of a parcel, it's getting smaller, right? Like delivery free, right? On-time delivery. So very tiny stuff is in one box, right? So that's a kind of a trend, and that affects to their business, particularly with Yamato, right? That is a kind of situation. And for thinking about that for Rakuten, fully depending on the category, right? Like food category, right? Drink category, or the parcel is big, right? And while like electronic components, right? Like and wear and clothes, parcel is much smaller, much lighter. Right, that is much more friendly for our drone operation, of course. Right, but the question is again, as in the past question, the question is that drone should adapt to that parcel, or the parcel should adapt to the drone system. So my answer would be combination. So I mean, we need to create a clear concept as soon as possible, right? Because both affect to the logistics operator, but also the users as well. So that's the answer which I can answer to you so far. And second question, what was it? Toyota, right?
Flying cars.
Yeah, flying cars. So. I mean, first of all, right, the concept was very exciting, right? I'm personally really seen that, right? Like flying taxi, whatever. And as I communicated to you in my presentation, probably in a couple of years, no one is talking about a drone. It's a part of autonomous system, right? Autonomous driving car, like platooning driving, autonomous trucks, flying taxi, the drone, as you see, it will be all integrated as a autonomous logistics, autonomous modality, whatever. Probably someone, tech companies creating new words, fancy words, and no one is talking about drone as a single term or a single concept. But exciting. And seeing the industry, right, as Rakuten. So, for example, I mean, we are I'm a big investor to Lyft. It's one of the competitor Uber, and really seeing huge opportunity on ride sharing with autonomous system. Fundamentally, concept is the same. All operation cost will be eliminated, or coming to the capex-based game, right? A big capex, buy the all autonomous cars. Operated by Lyft or Uber, whatever, autonomous, the ride-sharing platform. That should be integrated in that area. So as a Rakuten, of course, I mean, autonomous, flying vehicle is one of the concepts for our drone service, but much more. How we can create a new value by using that hardware. Of course, we are not developing the hardware. Probably working with some of the partners. But surely the changing world. And my strong belief is that flying taxi is coming. Yeah.
And Mr. Sakurai also wanted to submit the fact that Toyota has already come to Minamisoma City to talk about using their robot testing field for their flying cars demonstration or experiments.
Okay, well, speaking as a journalist, I think drone is going to be a hard word to kill instead of autonomous mobility. It doesn't quite roll off the tongue in the same way. Any more questions? Martin has his hand up again. So his is going to be the last question unless somebody is desperate to ask. No? Nobody? Okay, Martin, you've got the last one.
Not drone related, not directly. I would like to know why you made the change from nuclear fuel to drones, Rakuten.
You mean about myself?
Yes.
Oh, that's quite a personal question, right? So I don't know how much I can disclose that, right, in front of our Rakuten members. So as I said, right, I started my professional career as an assistant professor at the Tokyo University in nuclear fuel and nuclear cycle management. Fundamentally, my major is chemistry, how to extract plutonium from nuclear fuel. And working for a couple of years in university, but also in research institute. I mean, it's a kind of fundamental question as a individual scientist. If I'm really contributing to the society or not. Right. So direction-wise, in that stage, right? It was more than 10 years back. Nuclear fuel cycle is the mandate as a country. I was reading that, right? But the question is that if it's really true or not. I didn't have any answer simply because I didn't know about the business. I didn't know about the society. I know the technology. Right, so I was really questioning myself. Should I continue this or learning more from other dimension? And I decided to leave the scientist journey and moving into consulting firm, McKinsey & Company, and spending 9 years as a partner of McKinsey. So fundamentally, I was the management team of the McKinsey. I was the head of automotive and assembly industry in Japan. So majority of the automotive OEMs, manufacturing companies were my client. And feeling that technology is there. I know the business, but not seeing a really big innovation. I'm really feeling that if we continue that, Japan will destroy. I mean, Japan is gone. So need to do something new. And I mean, by chance, I met with our CEO, Mickey, saying that, hey, Tora, why don't you work with us? Okay, I can join. That's the whole story. So in short, technology is there. I want to do some innovation. I'm sitting here. And somehow meeting with Mr. Sakurai. I can do innovation to support the society with having the disaster from nuclear something, right? So it's a really great opportunity and personal attachment on that. So that's the whole story.
So your specialty was extracting plutonium from nuclear fuel, which is one of the cycles in the nuclear bomb industry, isn't it?
I mean, politically no, but technologically yes.
So did you and Sakurai-san sort out your differences before you collaborated? Did you have a talk about nuclear fuel? Did you have a heart-to-heart?
そうですね。最後にいいですか。
はい。
1分ぐらいですけど。正直言って日本政府の再稼働の方針には真っ向から反対です。
Yes, but to be very honest, I'm completely against the reoperation of the nuclear power plants.
今、トライさんたちとのコラボレーションも地域を再生させるためにやっているわけです。
The collaboration with Dr. Toraishi and Rakuten is all about reconstruction of this region.
この地域が再び魅力ある地域にしていかなければならないと思っています。
And reconstruction of the region means that this area needs to be attractive once again.
そのためには最も安全でなおかつ先進的な取り組みがされているという地域にしていかなきゃいけないと思っています。
And in order for it to become attractive, I think it needs to be the most safest place for the most brilliant innovations to be born.
若者たちまた若いお母さんたちが去っていった最大の原因は原発なんです。
The biggest reason why our children and the parents of these children left was the nuclear power plants.
彼らはこの地域には帰らないと決断している人たちもいます。
And some people have made their strong decision that they're never going to come back.
地域にいる我々が必死になってその回復に努めているわけです。
And the people who are still left in Minamisoma are the ones who are making our biggest efforts to recover our land.
そういう時に頭ごなしに再稼働されるということはもう一度もう最悪な結果が生まれる可能性があるということを示されているような気がします。
And it feels like when the government tells us that they're going to restart these nuclear plants, when we're struggling to revive our city, it gives us this message that the disaster is coming back once again.
私は南相馬が最も夢のある地域に変えたいと思っているんです。
I want to transform Minamisoma city into a place that has dreams.
したがって原発再稼働するということは許されない地域だということを世界に発信しなきゃいけません。
And in order to be a city that can cater cater to people's dreams, we cannot permit the restart of the nuclear power plant in our region.
政府の新しい試みとしてのイノベーションコスト構想には大賛成ですけれども、原発再稼働については絶対許すことはできません。
We're very much for this new innovation coast scheme that the government has started, but we are completely against the restart of the plants.
それがTEPCOの 1F の事故から我々学んだことだと思っています。
This is something that we've learned from the TEPCO Fukushima Daiichi nuclear plant, power plant accident.
ぜひとも魅力的な地域にする我々の試みにこれから皆さんも支援いただければと思います。ありがとうございました。
I ask you all from the bottom of my heart for your support as we strive to make our city once more attractive once again.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you so much to our two speakers, Toraishi-san and Sakurai-san, for a fascinating business story. I found it a fascinating business story. And also to Hashimoto Miho-san, our Sterling translator. I hope, or we all hope, I guess, that this business takes off. I'm waiting for drones to be able to drop my child off to kindergarten in the morning and take her back in the evening. She weighs 10 kilos, so I think it's at the cutting edge of the technology at the moment. But hopefully you'll come back and tell us when that's achieved. Thanks very much. Do show your appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
This is your membership of the club. Cool. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.